I've pretty much got them all installed here, except for one right there. But what I do is this. Let me go ahead and screw this one on, and then I'll explain how to do it and what to watch out for. You always want to tighten these screws by hand. If you use a screw gun, you're going to jack them up. These things are only made out of like a really lightweight aluminum on the back side. Use a little ratcheting screwdriver if you want, or just use one that you're going to turn by hand. You don't want to over tighten. You want to just get them snug. Okay, so here's what it looks like on this side. They look pretty sick. They're solid. Back in the old days, I think they used to be see-through, but they're pretty tight. So what I do when I install the rails is they come with the little screws here. And I'll usually mount the rail. I'll find something to mark an average amount of space that I can try to match them up. And then I'm pretty good at eyeing things, so I didn't measure anything, but I sort of eye the rails up. And what I do is I put one screw in the center, and I use a screw gun. One screw in the center. Pop, pop, line them up. Then I can bend the rail in, and I put the end screws in next. And pop, I just drive them down with the screw gun. If you're going to use the screws when you install your rails, you want to do it by hand. As soon as a fast, high speed, or even on low speed screw gun, it's going to go too far, and it's going to strip out the wood. And then that way, it won't grab. It won't grab here. And in putting on those rails with the screw gun, I had stripped out 2 of 10. So that's not bad. But first day riding this board today, I've already got one of my rails popping up. So, okay, it's time to put the plug nuts on. And I knew that when I installed them. I knew that thinking I was going to end up putting the sex bolts or plug nuts in anyway. So I really wasn't worried about it. Just get them on, get the holes marked, and then here's what I did. So I take out 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 with my screw gun. I pull the screws out, and I get a drill bit. This drill bit is basically the same size as the hole that's the manufacturer put in the rail. The same exact size. So it just passes through the rail and it's good to go. If you notice the back side of these plug nuts, the diameter that slides into the board here is a little wider than this drill bit. And that's why I have this drill bit on here. So what I do is I take the screws out, I take the drill with the smaller bit, and I just pop it through the whole board. Boom, 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 all the way through the board. And I did 3. That way I have a screw on each end of the rail to just keep the rail in place. So then I flip it over. I change out the small drill bit for the larger drill bit. Now this bit matches the side of the female part of the plug nut. So that way, and here I'm only trying to drill through the board. I'm not really trying to go through the rail. However, I'm not really worried if I do either. So pop, pop, pop through the deck. I got it wider. And then I take because if you're doing it after it's gripped, which you might as well, the grip tape sort of gets around the edge of the hole, and I take like a dull knife. You could use a screwdriver, whatever, and I just kind of go like this just to sort of scratch the grip tape away. That way when I insert the plug nut, I'm not pushing grip tape down into the hole and having a hard time, because it's fine. This is mellow aluminum, and if you're trying to wedge it down through too much stuff, you're going to bend that. Or if you're going to hit it with a hammer, I hit this one here with a hammer. Let's see if you can see it. We got a little bend on the back side of that plug nut. I did it on this one too. So all I did was start trying to be more careful with it. So then I pop, boom, 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 all three, flip it over. That's when I use my handheld screwdriver, and you only want to take it in until it's barely getting snug. And you can sort of feel it pulling the back side of this plug nut right up to the board and stop. I have installed these exact plug nuts with a screwdriver again, and I broke the threads on the inside of one. I stripped it out. And I need to order another set because I'm going to have to replace one on a board. If you're going to order these, they're cheap enough. I think you should get an extra pack just in case you ruin one of your plug nuts on one of your boards. They're super rad when you get them dialed in and on. Your rails don't go anywhere. But when you're learning, if you're stripping them out and stuff like that, you're probably going to need to come up with another one. So anyway, then I repeat the process. Once these three are in, I flip it over. I pull the screws out on the bottom. I drill through with a smaller drill bit through the board so that I got a hole coming out. I put the bigger bit on. I go through the deck only. And then you put the plug nuts in. And you're good to go.